think big. I'm telling you, you can do more, and you will do more than you ever imagined. If you're ever successful in your life, if you ever hit it, and you can, you will look back 10, 15, 20 years from now and say, God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I promise you. You know, it's like 80 pounds of weight looks like a lot when you're 5 or 6 years old. Later, it's pretty easy to pick that up. No matter what your frame is, as long as you do the work and show up in the gym, one day you'll be able to pick that barbell up. Just like in life, okay? The things that you think are impossible today, the things that you hate today, the things that you aren't good at, the things that you think are a waste of time, the things that make you angry are all opportunities for you. So one, think big. You can do great things. You got to believe that. You have to believe you can do great things even in the darkest moments. From 15 to 25, I was using drugs every day. So when I tell you, hey, you can do anything, I was a habitual daily drug user. Overdosed 3 times. Was brought back by people just wandering into a room saying, oh, this guy's in trouble. Okay, I don't know if I was trying to kill myself at the time, or I was just didn't know what I was doing, or stupid, or whatever. Like, I was a walking time bomb, and I was not to be trusted by my family, by my friends. There was no one in my life between 15 and 25 that I could have a positive influence on.
Grant Cardone went from sleeping on his brother's couch to owning over 12,000 rental units worth more than $1 billion. But here's the crazy part. It wasn't luck, connections, or even massive starting capital. It was something so simple that anyone watching this video can start applying it today. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how massive action transformed Grant Cardone from a struggling addict into one of the most successful real estate moguls in America. Let's start with the brutal truth about Grant Cardone's early days. At 25, he was a complete mess. He was battling drug addiction, living paycheck to paycheck, and had absolutely no direction in life. He was working dead-end jobs and couldn't even afford his own apartment. His family had written him off, and he was basically a walking disaster. But here's what's incredible. This rock-bottom moment became the foundation of his billion-dollar empire. The turning point came when Grant realized that his problems weren't caused by external circumstances. They were caused by his own massive inaction. While everyone else was making excuses, blaming the economy, or waiting for the perfect moment, Grant discovered that success wasn't about having the perfect plan. It was about taking massive action even when you don't feel ready. This is where Grant Cardone's life completely transformed. And this is the principle that will change your life if you truly understand it. Grant developed what he calls the 10x rule. Most people set small goals and take small actions. They think if they want to make $100,000, they should aim for $100,000 and put in average effort. Grant realized this approach is completely backwards. Instead, if you want to make $100,000, you should set a goal of making $1,000 and take 10 times the action you think is necessary. Why? Because most people dramatically underestimate the effort required to achieve anything worthwhile. They set realistic goals and wonder why they get mediocre results. Grant started applying this 10x principle to everything. When he was selling cars, instead of trying to sell 1 car per day like everyone else, he aimed to sell 10 cars per day. When he wanted to buy 1 rental property, he figured out how to buy 10 properties. This wasn't just positive thinking. This was a complete rewiring of his approach to life and business. Grant didn't start with millions of dollars or rich parents funding his real estate journey. His first property purchase happened when he was still working as a car salesman. He saved every penny, lived below his means, and instead of buying expensive cars or gadgets like his peers, he saved money for his first investment property. But here's the key difference. While most people spend months or even years analyzing their first deal, Grant took massive action. He didn't wait for the perfect property or the perfect market conditions. He found a decent property, ran the numbers quickly, and made an offer. When that deal fell through, he didn't get discouraged and quit like most people do. He immediately started looking for the next deal. This is where most people fail in real estate. They analyze one property for months, and when it doesn't work out, they give up. Grant understood that real estate is a numbers game. The more properties you look at, the more offers you make, the more likely you are to find great deals. While others were stuck in analysis paralysis, Grant was taking action. Grant's real estate empire didn't happen overnight, but it happened faster than most people think possible because he understood the power of compound growth combined with massive action. After buying his first property, he didn't sit back and relax. He immediately started looking for property number 2, then 3, then 4. But here's what made Grant different. He wasn't just buying properties randomly. He was studying successful real estate investors, learning from their strategies, and then taking 10 times more action than they recommended. When real estate gurus said to buy 1 property per year, Grant aimed to buy 10 properties per year. He also understood that time was his most valuable asset. Instead of waiting to pay off 1 property before buying the next one, he used leverage strategically. He would use the equity from 1 property to buy multiple properties. This created a snowball effect where his portfolio grew exponentially rather than linearly. As Grant's portfolio grew, he realized that he couldn't manage everything himself. This is where most real estate investors hit a wall. They try to do everything themselves and eventually burn out or hit a ceiling. Grant took a different approach. He built systems and hired people to manage his growing empire. He created standardized processes for everything: property acquisition, tenant screening, maintenance, accounting, and asset management. He hired property managers, accountants, contractors, and real estate agents who could handle the day-to-day operations while he focused on finding more deals and raising more capital. But here's the crucial part. Grant didn't hire people to work less. He hired people so he could work on higher-level activities. While his team was managing existing properties, Grant was networking with other investors, looking for larger deals, and finding new ways to grow his portfolio even faster. One thing that separated Grant from other real estate investors was his understanding of personal branding and visibility. While most investors stayed behind the scenes, Grant put himself out there. He started speaking at events, writing books, and creating content about his real estate strategies. This visibility served multiple purposes. First, it established him as an authority in real estate, which opened doors to bigger deals and better partnerships. Second, it attracted investors who wanted to partner with him or invest in his deals. Third, it created additional income streams through speaking fees, book sales, and consulting, which he could reinvest into more real estate. But Grant didn't just create content for the sake of it. Everything he shared was about taking massive action. He wasn't just teaching theory. He was sharing real strategies that he was actively using to build his own portfolio. This authenticity resonated with people and helped him build a massive following. Grant's journey wasn't smooth sailing. He faced economic downturns, difficult tenants, problem properties, and financing challenges. But instead of using these obstacles as excuses to quit or slow down, Grant used them as fuel to take even more massive action. During the 2008 financial crisis, when most real estate investors were paralyzed by fear, Grant saw opportunity. While others were selling their properties at massive losses, Grant was buying distressed properties at deep discounts. He understood that real estate cycles create the biggest opportunities for those brave enough to act when others are frozen by fear. When banks tightened lending requirements, Grant didn't complain about the market. He found alternative financing sources, partnered with other investors, and created creative deal structures. When one door closed, he kicked down 10 other doors. Today, Grant Cardone's real estate portfolio is worth over $1 billion and generates millions in passive income every year. But the most important lesson isn't the final number. It's how he got there. He didn't achieve this through luck, inheritance, or get-rich-quick schemes. He achieved it through relentless, massive action over many years. Grant owns over 12,000 rental units across multiple states. His properties generate consistent monthly cash flow that allows him to live the lifestyle he wants while continuing to reinvest in more properties. But more importantly, he's created a system that works without his constant involvement. So, how can you apply Grant Cardone's massive action principle to build your own real estate empire? First, stop making excuses about not having enough money, not knowing enough, or waiting for the perfect time. Grant started with nothing and learned as he went. Second, set bigger goals than you think are realistic. If you want to buy 1 rental property, aim to buy 10. If you want to make an extra $1,000 per month in passive income, aim for $10,000 per month. Big goals require big actions, and big actions create big results. Third, take action before you feel ready. You don't need to know everything about real estate before you buy your first property. You need to know enough to not make devastating mistakes, but you'll learn the most by actually doing deals, not by reading books or watching videos. Fourth, treat real estate like a business, not a hobby. Create systems, track your numbers, and continuously improve your processes. The goal isn't just to own properties, it's to build a profitable, scalable business. The biggest lesson from Grant Cardone's story isn't about real estate strategies or investment techniques. It's about the power of massive action. While most people take small, tentative steps toward their goals, Grant takes massive, bold actions that create massive results. This principle applies to every area of life. Whether you want to build a business, improve your relationships, get in shape, or achieve any other goal, the solution is always massive action. Stop planning and start doing. Stop analyzing and start executing. Stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating the conditions you need through action. Grant Cardone transformed from a broke, drug-addicted car salesman into a billionaire real estate mogul, not because he was special, but because he was willing to take massive action when others made excuses. The same opportunity exists for you right now. The question is, are you ready to take massive action, or will you keep making excuses? Remember, your dreams don't work unless you do. And when you do work at 10 times the level everyone else thinks is necessary. That's how you build empires. That's how you create the life you actually want, instead of settling for the life you think you deserve. If this video inspired you to take massive action in your own life, make sure to subscribe to Stovibe for more powerful lessons from the world's most successful people. Your future self will thank you for the action you take today.